Lack of proper regulation. Watching the watchers. There is a lack of proper regulation of watch lists, no one watching the watchers. No time limit. The duration of being surveilled is often exceedingly, disproportionately and unnecessarily long, being years, decades or even, if the parents are under continuous surveillance, from birth. No judicial oversight. To prevent corruption. No algorithm accountability. For algorithms and/or predictive policing that result in people being placed on watch lists. No proportionality. Hardened criminal get 18 months surveillance, a terrorist 24 months, yet someone who has no criminal history whatsoever can get left on the watch list for years. No ability to challenge the reasons. No diminishing probability. No formal standards. No adherence to policing principles, such as challenging the target, opening up a dialogue. No removal mechanism. No science into the health effects. The physical and mental health effects of being stalked, particularly emotional well-being. No science into mass shootings. The link with mass shootings, murders and attempted murders, and the potential for danger within the society of stalking large amounts of people. It's quite possible that placing potentially dangerous people on watch lists, considering this induces intense and chronic stress, could increase the prevalence of dangerous acts, rather than decrease them. No intensity limits. I.e., there could be dozens of people all surrounding and stalking an individual at any one time. No human rights adherence. Liberty, freedom from torture, privacy. Little law adherence. Part of the problem is that most of the people running the watch lists have never been on a watch list themselves, so have no idea of the devastating effects it has on the targeted individual's life. The law. Gangstalking constitutes far more than just surveillance, and it has devastating effects on the lives of the people being stalked. Human rights laws are designed to guarantee a basic standard of living in most countries. Of particular interest are the human right to liberty. Liberty is the state of being free within society from oppressive restrictions imposed by authority on one's way of life and behavior. The human right to be free from torture. This includes psychological torture. Gangstalking is often described as a form of psychological torture. The human right to respect one's private and family life. Considering the high degree of people being gangstalked not leaving their own home and or adapting their life significantly due to the distress caused, and also the fact that gangstalking is universally described as torturous, these human rights are being contravened. The people doing the surveillance seem to have no regard for these laws. One of the main challenges is how the individual being stalked proves what is happening to them in a court of law. They do not have access to number plate databases, so they cannot prove, for example, that the cars following them and surrounding them are not local and or that they are owned by people who work for the same company. They are also up against so many forces in the government, police, military, other big government departments, global companies, local companies and the mainstream and local media. It is difficult for someone to put themselves up against such power, and will deplete the individual's resources, such as time, money etc. It's also very hypocritical when the government takes stalking so seriously when an individual does it with potentially up to 10 years in prison, yet when they do it, continuously for years, it's considered okay. Link with mass shootings and murders. Gangstalking has been linked with an ever-increasing number of retaliatory mass shootings and attempted murders, some of the most notable examples being Myron May, Aaron Alexis, Everton Brown, and Gavin Long.